Okay, there we go. And we are live for episode 50 of Candlekeep Mysteries.
Hey yo.
Hey yo, indeed. Hey yo. Or hey yeah,
Ayo,
if you're into
ayo.
that. Yeah, so at the moment we're just a 5, but we should be joined later by Swirl Daddy. So Kane should be making a comeback shortly. Hopefully it won't be too long. But in the meantime, let's recap. So, yeah, we started off last week after the trip on to an adventure plot sideline, but yeah, that's all fine. Everyone returned and everyone got reacquainted, and we started off by Miss Nis, Loris Nis, approaching you guys with a bit of a problem that she was stressing out over regarding Kane and a book. And looking into this, you found out that she had been given the book as a bit of a hazing, as this book is notorious for being unsolvable because it cannot be opened. So it's just been passed around the keep for a very long time. But yeah, Miss Nis got given it, and then Kane had a go at doing something with it, and after looking around you found out that he had been sucked into the book. So you were looking around seeing how you could possibly get an idea of the book. You were going to go to one of the higher ups in the keep, but then Miss Nis brought up a balcony that is just close enough to the border that you can stretch out and temporarily be outside of the magics of the keep. So yeah, you went there and you were able to release the lock of the book, and you promised not to say anything regarding this little loophole in the keep. Yeah, so reading the book, you find the first 10 pages or so contained various notes from the author Zikran. He had been trying to trap a genie within the book and eventually succeeded. The next 8 pages are of a genie who is talking about their time serving Zikran and how he had kind of fanciful ideas of making an elemental fortress or a floating castle fortress. At some point though, a head appeared from the book and they introduced themselves as a genie, Gazir Azam, who had been trapped in the book by Zikran. So he's hoping for his freedom, so he kind of spoke to you, and after a while you kind of made an agreement that if he is to, if I recall, if he is to help you fight Imra Pine Blossom, you'll be happy to help him out of the book. So that is what he agreed to. So yeah.
Happy's a bit of a stretch.
What was that?
Said happy is a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, he's a bit grumpy, but he's been trapped in a book for centuries probably. But yeah, so yeah, you have an ally, question mark, probably. Yeah, you'll have an ally for when you come to fighting Imra Pine Blossom. So yeah, he gives you the location of Zikran's laboratory, because he said the most direct way to free him from the book would be to kill Zikran. I guess you could also try persuading him, but this is the kind of guy that summons genies and then imprisons them in a book, so we'll see about that. So yeah, he kind of says, tells you to follow the Sword Coast and down south until you find a spire made of coral. At the base of the spire, look inland and you'll see the mouth of a flooded cave, which is where the laboratory and sanctum of Zikran is. So once you arrived there, you looked around a little bit and you found large claw marks indicating something big being in the area. It was both in and out of the water, so you were a bit cautious when you entered the cave. You saw 2 drowned bodies, both of them elves, I believe. Yes, both of them elves. Medicine check indicated that they had likely been caught off guard in their sleep, and the waters rose and they drowned. Looking into their belongings, yeah, the ghosts of the elves rose up and attacked the party. Some damage was done, but you did manage to vanquish them, but not before Agatha failed to resist a horrifying visage aging them 10 years. So there was a bit of conversation regarding that, as it will be permanent if it's not addressed within 24 hours. With I think it was a greater restoration spell. Yeah. But yeah, so you're going to look into that later. For now, you're wanting to look into what was further in this cave, and yeah. So that's been put on the shelf for the moment. So you pushed in, and you opened some double doors that were slightly ajar inwards, and not before preparing a spiritual weapon. You throw them open, and you come face to face with a bronze dragon. And yes, it kind of looked up to greet you all and noticed the spiritual weapon summoned as the doors were thrown open. So there's been no words said yet between the party and this dragon. I believe there was a handout, if I can find that again. Where are we?
I wish it just saved the handouts that you gave us in like the journal or whatever.
I think I need to alter the permissions for them or something. Is it this one? Let's see. Yes, this one here. So yeah, you saw this fanciful dragon here, so I'll reread the description of the room before we get stuck into things. So let's have a look here. Current laboratory, area 5. So yeah, several small glowing stones hang from the 20-foot high ceiling of this large cave, which is cluttered with laboratory equipment and beautiful coral sculptures. Rising from the floor in the center of a room is a circular stone dais that has obvious grooves to accommodate a device of some kind, though no such device is present. Atop this dais is a bronze-scaled dragon wearing a coral crown. So it kind of looks up to you all as you kind of kick the door open. Salam, you summon the spiritual weapon. And
I immediately undo it.
okay, so yeah,
weapon
at the same time as you do that, it's going to cast a cloud of fog around it to kind of encase it and obscure its current position, just to kind of see what's going on without acting too aggressively in reaction to what has happened. So yes, Salam, you unsummon your weapon, so I'll move that away at the same time as a large cloud of fog just billows out from the dragon, shrouding it in fog and out of your sight, unless you guys have crazy sight that lets you look through it or something. I don't think that will be a thing.
My apologies, Great Dragon. We are used to things trying to kill us, so I might have been a little bit overzealous in summoning my spiritual weapon. My apologies.
There is a moment. Oh, they apologize. Well, I guess that makes things okay then. Kicking my door down, brandishing weapons. I see there are more of you. How does Azza look with the door being kicked down?
A bit of an action pose, but softening. The weapon does not leave my hand, but I go from the action pose to a more casual pose over the course of a minute. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, Azza, you have your action pose as you go in with Salam. like instantly, Serpent's fang begins like vibrating, and you hear its voice in your head, all ecstatic. Oh, another dragon, yes! But then you relax, and the dragon says, "Yes, you do seem calmer, but still, there are more of you than me, and I do not know you, and I sense great power amongst all of you."
If it means anything to you, we did slay a red dragon last week. I'm sure you hold no regard for their kind.
This is true, but they are mere words. What proof could you offer me?
How about this? And I take out the red dragon scale that I have.
Okay. So, let's see. It should have blind sense, so you'll be seeing where you are, but it won't be able to actually see. So it will lower the fog clouds and kind of come down from the dais in the section and approach and kind of lean in close to look at the scale. Kind of breathes in deeply. Yes, this one is fresh, I believe, so either you were able to purchase it conveniently, or you are being truthful with what you say.
If you have magic that compels the truth like I do, cast it. I will not resist. I have nothing to hide.
I have not access to this spell that you see, but you could always cast it upon yourself and your friends.
If I had it available to me today, I would.
Convenient, yes, but I'm inclined to believe you. Perhaps you can step on inside.
Of course.
And he'll kind of circle back around and settle on the dais. Come on in, everybody. Do not be afraid.
You aren't Zikrin by chance, are you?
No, I am not Zikrin.
Thank God.
We seek him, or at least his spells.
Interesting. I say, you out there, do not be afraid. Come on in, yes, yes. We want to keep the warmth in.
And the ghosts out.
Ghosts?
You have a ghost problem outside.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate.
I scared them away for now, but
they'll be back? Well, I'm sure I can handle a few ghosts. I'll help them move on if possible. Or maybe they can tell me a story or two from their past. So, you seek Zikrin. I believe this was his laboratory at some point. It was rather drab when I first arrived. Not much colour, but as you can see, and he kind of gestures around, I have added a nice palette of colour to the room, and it makes it much more welcoming. Don't you agree?
Indeed I do. It's quite beautiful in here.
Yes, yes. And he's gonna gaze at all of you. Does anyone have anything colourful on their person? Like bright primary colours, that kind of stuff.
Give me a moment. You're not asking if it's like splendid, like a magic item, just something really...
No, just something colourful.
Yeah, okay.
Like
Or just like beautiful colours, or something that is beautiful in an artistic way. Okay.
I mean,
he's a child of the night.
Well, I suppose like Saloon's armor would be shiny, but yeah. What's that, Agatha?
Yeah, the armor is shiny, but it's not colorful.
Yeah.
I mean, my face has like a red agate pattern on it, but I don't think the dragon would be interested in skin.
No, not really.
Kieran has his scarf, the blue,
yes.
white, and the blue and white. I think from LaRue's design, kind of the unicorn on it and stuff. He's got that wrapped around his neck.
Okay. So we'll kind of look over all of you and say, oh, it's drab, except for you.
I guess my new cloak of protection is like the color of the moon. I don't know if you'd be interested in that.
Okay. Oh yeah, you and Azza got quite a high quality cloak of protection. I'm not sure if it's kind of like bright primary colors.
Like coral. But
no. Okay.
It's probably a lovely blue.
Okay.
Well, it's blue.
It's blue. Yeah, blue's a color. I like blue. But yeah, so he'll look at you all and say, bit drab. But yes, you, Master Elf, I do like the scarf you have made there. Where did you get it? Perhaps you can tell me.
I knitted it myself.
Ooh. An artisan, perhaps.
I've been known to craft here and there.
It's a bit small for me, but maybe I could make use of it around my wrist if you're willing to trade for it in any way.
And he'll kind of look to the rest and he says, perhaps, yes. You do have quite a wondrous collection here.
Well, anything colourful and ornamental is off the board, I'm afraid, but I'm sure I have a few things around. Unless you take a fancy to something in here and can trade equally for it. A change in decoration is nice every now and then.
And Keener will kind of take his scarf off and he says, until something does catch our eye, maybe perhaps in your favor, I guess.
I do like things being in my favor.
He'll kind of hold it out, offering it to the dragon.
He'll kind of reach out with his front hands and kind of pick it from you, and you kind of like stretch it out so it's full length and inspect it more closely. You know, his claw. His claw. Okay. His hand claw.
You know what kind of dragon it is.
Like it's like a long scarf, like even wrapped around his neck, it like goes down to his knees. Like,
okay.
It's long, yeah. So there's a bit of material to it. It's like a big old scarf. You know, he's an old man, he needs his warmth, so.
Longer than I expected. Perhaps it might just about fit around my neck, or at least my wrist. Perhaps even my tail, a nice accompaniment at the end of it. And
if you like colors so much, how about this? And I will change my eye color to match the color of his scales.
Ooh, that's a fanciful trick, but I'll hazard a guess and say you don't want to give me your eyes.
Unfortunately, no.
That is fair, but I appreciate
this
the
isn't permanent anyway.
flair.
I thought it perhaps might give you something more colorful to look at when you gaze at us.
I appreciate that.
Despite our crude entrance, I think it's clear that we are not meaning to harm a goodly creature that is willing to play host.
Yes.
We have come here, though, unbeknownst of your generosity, looking merely for clues that might help us free a friend and a newly met associate from a book they are trapped in.
From a book?
From a book.
What is the book about?
Not much, really.
No. That
Most
seems to be
empty.
a bit of a failure of a book, then.
I don't think the purpose of the book was for stories or words, necessarily.
It was about magics.
Magic, you say? Do tell.
Of the inner planes?
I think so. Yeah, sounds about right. Ah, yes, the plains. I thought to go there one day, but not yet. I'm still young.
While the knowledge itself is academic, the magic bound to the book can trap those inside of it. We have no idea what fate our companion is currently inside its pages.
Entrapment, you say?
We are eager to see him free. Or his
very good
eccentricities make him a valuable ally.
A valuable ally, yes, but surely you're wanting to do that from the goodness of your heart.
Yes, and he is our friend, and we care about him very much.
He creeps me out from time to time, to be honest.
I see. But it is just a noble quest you are on. I'm sure I could help you. In some way, at least, I hope.
Whisper Kenoran. I haven't forgotten what he did with that snake lady.
He was charmed.
I think he would have done it without any prompting.
I think you underestimate him.
Agatha looks over, eyebrow raised.
I think he's hit me with a fireball before, just for the hell of it. You know what? I'm getting in the weeds. Forgive the interruption.
No worries.
We need him out one way, for one reason or the other. Doesn't matter.
Well, a noble quest indeed. And if it would happen to bring Zikran to justice for the things he has done, then, well, that's even better.
You know him by reputation, then?
I've spent time here and found out enough that this is his laboratory, but he is no longer here, as you can see.
Of course.
So I have moved in.
I guess you could learn a lot about a person from their lab.
Indeed, although there were some things, I presume, taken upon him leaving.
Sure.
Seems he was a fan of enslavement of other beings to
disgusting.
satisfy his will.
Yes, ambition can lead you down a dark path.
He subjugated a being of the inner planes. Our companion, on his own initiative, tried to free the being and became trapped himself, so it is up to us to take up the quest for him and the being.
Noble.
With that understanding, would you permit us to search this lab for hints, clues, and solutions to our problem?
Perhaps. Maybe. You seem to be on a just quest, and am I to keep this scarf? Or do you have something else you could give it? Oh, very nice. Thank you. And he kind of like just puts it around his neck. It's a bit of a stretch, but he just about manages it. A kind gift indeed. Yes, well, I permit you to look around, but I'm sure I don't need to say for you to keep your hands to yourselves in regards to my collection of colors and art. I will be watching.
We safely assume all the books are safe to peruse?
Yes, as long as you don't break anything, take anything, or muddy up the place. Keep everything tasteful and in the condition it is, and there won't be any problems.
Sure.
Yes, we wouldn't want to have any altercations. And you can like see like a crackle of lightning from like inside his mouth. But I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Ashgalith.
Yes, it appears in our haste to explain ourselves, we all may have rushed formalities. Yes. I am Azza. I hail from Gwyneth.
Gwyneth, yes. Is that to the north or the south? I forget.
It's actually to the west, across the Sword Sea. An island nation.
A far traveler, then.
A few months.
I am Salam, champion of Saloon.
Saloon. A noble goddess, as far as I am concerned. Equality for all is a noble cause.
Indeed it is. I'm glad you see it that way.
Kinorn Alcinius, Weaver's Guildman, crafter, cook, chef, and recent follower of LaRue.
Ah, LaRue. Not too as familiar, but the name rings a bell.
They're tied quite closely with Saloon.
Ah, yes, that must be it. Very nice. You must be close friends, then.
Yes, we've grown rather close over the few months.
Admirable. And the rest of you?
Agatha Hillis, a former soldier and current caretaker of orphans of Neverwinter, looking for ways to support my business.
Your business? What is your business?
I run an orphanage in the city.
Ah. Oh, there is no gooder work than that. Yes. Is the business in jeopardy of some sort?
You could say that. It's been a long road, but I think with where I am now, it should be on the up and up.
Well, that is good news. Perhaps I could make a donation to the orphanage in return for some fanciful arts and crafts from the children.
I could send a letter, and maybe it'll be an activity at some point from Paige, and then I'll get back.
Yes, if they produce some fanciful arts and crafts, send it my way and I will offer up a donation that would seem fit for whatever they are able to produce. Yes, very good.
Would you allow me to cast a spell that will aid us in our search of the laboratory?
What spell is this?
Detect magic.
I don't see why not, but we're not done with introductions. Yes, the rather dark and dull-looking one.
He's so quiet sometimes.
Chadwick is kind of just like behind you slightly. He says, "I'm Chadwick. I just read books. Forgive my timidness. The Last Dragon was a bit much for me." And he just like suddenly bows really lowly. No need for that. No need for that. And yes, I don't see why not. A detect magic spell should be fine.
Thank you, Ashkerlith.
I will stay here and observe your searching.
So I'm gonna ritual cast detect magic.
Okay. So yeah, you get started with the ritual, and I guess the rest of you start fanning out. So looking around, the cave contains several tables covered with intricate machinery and crafting tools. Bookshelves are filled with books and dioramas. Freestanding chalkboards in wooden frames once displayed perhaps notes, arcane formulas and such, but they are now just smudges and streaks of chalk.
I'll take the initiative to ask what this is.
Well, you can kind of spread out and roll investigation.
Looks like a sundial.
Yeah. Let's have a look if it actually says anything, because this is like not an original
map. I only know that
map.
because it looks like this map was made on Incarnate, and that's what they use for their sundial on Incarnate.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, so it could be like a fanciful sundial map kind of combination. So yeah, you could look into that and roll investigation.
It could be a sundial for the other plane.
It could.
Ooh. Ooh. Okay, where's the investigation?
Keenerin, maybe you start investigating, but then you kind of get distracted by all the colorful decorations and artistry, and you just start looking into how they were possibly made and formed.
Oh yeah, like if there's paintings, like he's
Yeah.
like he like studied like the brush strokes, and like he's like getting so far like into details that are so unimportant.
Yeah.
You know, from his earlier days, you know, you might see a craft he once worked on, like maybe a vase or something, maybe, and he's more focused on like the craftsmanship rather than actually looking for something important.
You know, Ashkerlith, and I'll just kind of while I'm tracing out the magic sigils and stuff for detect magic, I'll just kind of have a little conversation with them. Thinking back on it, we did come across a piece of rather fanciful art that you might be interested in trading for.
Yes. An art piece is of great interest to me, especially if it is a colorful one. I do love colors. Let's see if...
and I'll ask the group, who took the owlbear figure?
Oh, the wind up one, yeah.
That's right.
I have no memory of this.
It was in the basement. Yeah.
How does my 13 look?
So yeah, getting to the 13. So you look on the kind of structure. So let's say it's kind of like a combination of like a relatively 3D map of the local area, along with some kind of weather tracking and time and daytime, nighttime tracking kind of thing. So it's like an elaborate map. So you start looking at it and you start kind of seeing several locations that you recognize, but you can't really make heads or tails of it in regards to kind of any clues as to where you might need to be going. But it is very, very impressive form of map.
I don't think we decided who like kept the owlbear figure.
No, I said I took it.
Yeah, Agatha definitely had took it. Yeah. It wasn't just like a figure, it also like it could wind up and do some stuff, I believe.
I thought I remembered Agatha taking it, but
yeah, Agatha definitely has it, from what I can recall.
I haven't the foggiest memory of this thing whatsoever. Was I here for that?
It's from the barn door.
Yeah. It was like at the end as we were kind of like tidying little bits up.
Was I still comatose from being electrified?
Possibly, yes.
No.
Maybe.
The sigils is the key.
It was like when we ran through everything at the end.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Agatha, why don't you pull the owlbear out and show Ashkerlith here how it works? It's not just mere art, by the way. It moves as well.
So yeah, Agatha will kind of pull it out and present it for a little bit, kind of holding it out, and if Ashkerlith wants to take kind of a close look, she'll let him.
Let me quickly find it again so I can get an idea of what it would look like potentially.
Oh no, lost connection.
Yeah, it does that sometimes.
Yeah, it booted me earlier.
It do be like that.
It do be like that.
Where are we?
Thought I put it in my sheet, but I guess it re-imported and deleted it. Oops.
Yeah, you gotta add it on D&D Beyond.
I have learned that since then.
The gods have taken it as their due.
Yeah, so a 4-inch tall mechanical owlbear figure. Yeah, so you wind it up with a key, and then it causes it to walk in a straight line every light at speed of 5 feet for 10 minutes. At the end of every minute of operation, it changes from walking on all fours to walking on its hind legs, and it turns when it hits a barrier. So yeah, it's more intricately and well crafted than like decorative, but let's say it is also kind of extremely detailed in its in how it looks. So yeah, let's say. So yeah, Ashgarleaf will lean on down and get a very good look at this thing. Ooh, fascinating. It looks like the real thing. And I see there's a space for a key here. Do you have it? And yes, you do. Let's say. Yes, perhaps a demonstration of what this thing does.
Yeah. So, yeah, she'll kind of, she'll kind of stride across, and so that there's someone on the other side to catch it, and yeah, she'll wind it up, and she'll have it kind of walk over this way. If that shows up, essentially.
Yeah. Okay. So you start winding it up for a bit, and then you set it down, and the Ashgarlith kind of just watches it as it kind of makes its way across, shifting between all fours on its hind legs, and she finds it extremely humorous and starts breaking down in laughter and wonderment at this, and yeah, she's completely like enwrapped in this display of technical genius from whoever made this and what it is able to do. Who has the book? Did you bring it, the Zephyrin Tome? I think so.
Yeah, we somehow were given permission to leave the.
Yeah, we have it.
Yeah, you kind of got permission. Yeah, I guess.
We got permission.
Yeah, definitely. So who
didn't
has
ask
it?
Enough details. That's, probably Chadwick. He's the page turner around here.
Yeah, it could be
Chadwick too.
Chadwick, yeah. So yeah, I guess he's standing next to Salam. So Chadwick, maybe he's kind of just still staring at this dragon warily. And Salam, you probably notice kind of a faint wisp of smoke kind of come out from the pages of the book and kind of look around slightly and then up at you and say, "Ah, you've made it to the laboratory then. How's it going?"
It is going well.
Have you found Zikran?
We just started looking. I'm casting a spell right now that'll help us look, so...
I see. Well, if there's any advice I can give, open the book and I can do my best to assist. And with that, he'll kind of just go back into the book. So yeah.
I'm assuming Ashgarlith notices this with their passive perception.
No, they're like focused on the little owlbear figure.
Oh, okay.
Like completely 100%. They're just like losing their shit over this, just laughing and just clapping their claws together. And like the wings are going as well, and it starts to like kick up a bit of a breeze, and like your hair's being like thrown around, and the cloaks are kind of get like tangling up on you from like the breeze that's kind of kicking up.
Whoa.
I guess it will reach the other side and kind of meet Keenerin, and then Ashgarlith will kind of like calm down and say, "Oof, I haven't laughed so much in a long time. I thank you very much. I'm very interested in this little trinket. Yes, I wonder if there's anything I could possibly give you for this." And they start looking around.
Guess it depends on what you have. Anything that would aid us in our quest would be most welcome, though.
Most of
This
my
quest or our ultimate quest to destroy these creature and this cult that are perverting druidic magic with necromantic and necrotic energies.
It's a long story.
It is a long story.
So I won't waste your the time, the what little time you have with stories then. But yes, something for a quest. Most of my treasures are along the lines of art and color. Maybe something I'm willing to give away. I have currency. I have not much use for currency. Maybe one or two magic items, perhaps. Oh, you like currency, do you? I suppose you can buy things with it.
We were planning on probably selling it anyway, but we'd much rather have it go to someone like you who is truly going to appreciate it.
That would be. I would appreciate it immensely. So.
Agatha's kind of looking a little wary about it. Doesn't say anything yet.
Let me see. Perception. Oh no, not perception. It'll be insight. Let's see, insight then. 18. Do you think like how well are you trying to hide it, or is it just like a look maybe?
It's just an anxious look.
Yeah, let's with an 18 maybe they'll notice. Why the face, my dear? Oh, you want? Is this something precious to you?
Well, if I could give perhaps my opinion, I think it might. I don't think it would really fit in your collection here. Yes, it is very finely detailed, and it is a intriguing trinket, but I don't think it really matches the vibe and aesthetic you have in here. And, well, I hope you pardon my saying, but it does require some fine control to get the full effect.
I wholeheartedly disagree, and I'm sure that Ashkerlith could figure out a way to run it themselves.
Yeah, maybe Ashkerlith kind of pulls a bit of a sour face and says, well,
look how much joy it brought them.
Yes, I did enjoy its animated little walk, but it is yours and your property. I wouldn't force you to sell it to me, but I'm sure everyone has their price. But as I said, I wouldn't force you in any way. Perhaps you have something
Agatha,
else.
what are you doing? We already discussed selling this. Why would we keep a mere trinket rather than something that can help us on our journeys? That's insane.
Now, don't bicker.
I was on board with that at the start, but given some time to think with it in my immediate possession, maybe if you want to take this to a different room.
She's possessed. We must take it to the fires of Mount Doom.
Does my detect magic finish?
I would probably say so by now. Let's see. So you detect everyone's magic items. In the room, the majority of the items and belongings are kind of like treasures and not really magical. However, you do detect several magic maybe 2 or 3 magic items in here. Yes. So
what do they look like, and what school of magic are they?
So you look to kind of like an abandoned corner in this, or an abandoned crevice in this room, and there's kind of like a kind of sad looking kind of backpack that is giving off a strong sense of magic. You know, like a backpack, a sack, some sort of haversack kind of looking thing. And next to that is a rather plain looking staff that gives off a strong magic aura of mystery and bigness. And then there's a potion on the table that gives off a strong magical ping as well. So I'm sure you know what.
I'm not getting any schools of magic.
Let's see. Well, I'm sure you know what the
That's always the hard part.
backpack haversack kind of thing is. The
Yeah.
staff, that's a homebrewy thing, so I have no idea. There's a depth of magic that when you look into it, that is endless and formless. So it seems to be just moving around all the schools of magic currently, and is not
Okay, so
settled on
multiple
one
schools
thing.
then.
Kind of. It's more like it's not set on something. And then for the potion,
Do I recognize the potion just being an alchemist?
it's you probably need to go up and inspect it, but you probably, I think, like chromatic school of magic, chromancy, time magic.
Oh, okay. Chronomancy, yeah.
Yeah, I at a guess it will probably be that. And I think that's what there is in regards to magic items in this room. So yes.
Yeah.
And when you look at the staff, you see the kind of swirling magic maybe react and kind of flow towards Agatha slightly. Ooh, mystery. So yeah,
Yes,
that's what
Agatha,
you get.
We can go into the other room.
Lord Ashkerliff, I don't suppose you. I open up a small bag in my pouch. Play spinny rocks.
What? Spinny rocks? Never heard of such a
Spinny rock.
game. Are these the rocks you got from that crazy wizard that's now
Yeah.
dead? Yeah.
Unfortunately, I only got the one.
Okay.
Should have bought two,
You should have bought two. Oh well.
so I could show people how to play.
No, I cannot say I've ever played this game. Chadwick feels exposed now. Salam is not here, so he'll go hang out with Keenerin.
With a horde like yours, I had fostered a hope that you might have a spinny rock in your collection.
I have many rocks, but they are more a display of color rather than motion. But I
It's like-
suppose I could make one spin, and they kind of reach over and pull out this honking big gemstone, and he kind of places it on the floor and with one claw on the top, and then just like flicks it, and it starts spinning around between like the floor and its claw. Is this how the game works?
It's how it starts. So I would put down my spinning rock in a concave surface, and they would then meet and bounce off each other, and the more competitive rock would come out as a victor. I think I have a bit of an advantage as mine continues to spin, but
Yes,
you
mine
do
is
have
just
a glorious rock.
mine is just this large gem here. If that still counts as a rock, I believe it does.
I think it's a great rock.
Yeah, you're looking at it and it's like a huge gem, and you're like, ooh. Yes.
If we could get that to spin continuously.
So what's Keenerin doing now? You've kind of been looking at all these art pieces for a while.
I mean, he's probably pretty enraptured in it, and then if Chadwick kind of comes over, you know, he might make some comments on it, like, "My, I haven't seen brush strokes like this, and it was popular about 400 years ago. What do you think, Chadwick?"
Chadwick looks a little caught out, and then he's like, Then he kind of just looks at it and starts muttering, and then he kind of glazes over, and then he kind of snaps back, and then starts just like listing off all of this like textbook based knowledge of like the brushstrokes you were talking about, but it's all like cold textbook stuff. There's no actual like artistry to it. It's all like
Right.
theoretical and stuff.
Yeah, Kira will be like slightly taken aback and be like, wow, it seems you know your stuff.
Yeah.
Sounds more like from a scholarly standpoint rather than an artist, but it's still welcomed. I haven't had someone to talk to with such artistry in quite some time.
He's like, yeah, I wasn't really much one for the arts. I always appreciated my learning. But yeah, anytime.
Appreciated nonetheless.
Okay. So yeah, Azza and Arshgalith will start a game of Spinny Rocks. Meanwhile, outside we have Salam and Agatha.
Please don't tell me you were possessed by this thing and that it's
No.
actually magical. I didn't sense any, but sometimes
like
it can
that.
hide.
I was just thinking that it would be a good returning gift for the orphanage in some way. Give something to the kids as kind of a something for me being out for so long.
Aww.
Well, I'm sure that once we are done with our quest, especially considering the amount of gold that we just got, you would be able to buy basically whatever you wanted for the children when you return. But we have an opportunity now to get something that will help us in our quest, rather than keeping hold of a trinket, and it might sway you a little to know that I sensed a magical quarterstaff in there, that its magic was drawn to you somehow. I've never seen anything like it before. Is your current quarterstaff magical in any way?
Nothing except from power that my key gives it, but
Well, I'm sure you could channel your key into any quarterstaff, and if it was a highly magical quarterstaff, then I'm sure that would make you all the stronger in combat. I'm just asking you to look at the big picture. I understand that you want to keep something for the children, but there will be plenty of time for that. Right now, we have things we must accomplish, and we have to use everything that we have at our disposal to our advantage. Immer Pine Blossom is not messing around. I assure you that. He was toying with us. He could have killed us all easily, without a second thought.
I mean, if you're absolutely certain that we don't have anything else we can give them.
I don't have any other art. I mean, you saw their reaction to it. I'm sure there's somebody at Candlekeep that specializes in clockwork machinations like this. I'm sure that you could have something commissioned with all of your gold once we have actually completed all of our tasks and, saved Candlekeep. Could get more than one if you want to.
All right. Okay. Mask back on. All right. Sounds like a plan.
Sounds like what?
Sounds like a plan.
Okay.
Sorry, noise suppression on Discord.
Let's go back in there and see if we can't get you this quarterstaff.
Alright.
Okay, so yeah, you guys head back in. You see Keenerin and Chadwick deep in conversation about art for some reason, and then you see Azza and Ashgalith kind of
Wait.
throwing
At
rocks.
this point,
or
at this
something.
point, we've put the big gem on top of the spinning rock, and I've got it balanced. It's like, so this is what it would look like if you had it enchanted to spin. It'd be a highly competitive rock.
I see. I don't think enchanting rocks is in my capabilities currently, but perhaps in the future I could endeavor to make all of my rocks spin, such as you're demonstrating here. That would be most wonderful. Perhaps I could dangle them from the ceiling magically and they would spin around, catching the light, like sending lasers and sparks and glints of light all over the room, bathing me in a splendor of color. It's an idea I have of light. That's a fine line just shooting through the air.
My eyes glaze over if I think about competition of spinning rocks.
Yes, but I'm unable to make them spin magically currently, but perhaps in the future. Did you make this spinning rock yourself? Are you the magic man? No?
No.
Unfortunate.
The magic man has met mysteriously unfortunate circumstances.
That's sad then.
Unfortunate, mysterious circumstances.
Perhaps you have the one magic spinning rock in the whole of existence. That would be worth a pretty penny.
It might be the only one, Azza. You don't know.
I've probably met. I don't know. Have I met other spinning rock people?
You probably recall. You probably recall the wizard that sold you it, and he had like a bag of them. But you've not seen anyone else with these spinning rocks. Just the wizard.
It's just a niche game.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably played more around that town.
Maybe.
Do his trades.
Maybe.
You know, an affluentius, I figure not a fan can hope.
Mm-hmm.
Puts my
Indeed.
spinny rock away.
He kind of watches it go into your pocket, and then he kind of looks a little down once it's out of view, and then he kind of just looks at his own giant gem and just like flicks it and makes it spin in a circle.
Ashgalith.
Oh, yes. You've had your conversation.
We have.
Forgive me if I'm a little awkward. I don't like confrontation.
Oh, it's okay. There was no confrontation.
Oh, that is pleasing.
Just a discussion amongst friends.
Very good.
We believe we have a trade in mind that you will be quite happy with.
Mm-hmm. And what is that?
As I was searching about for things of magical nature that would help us on our search here for
maybe referring to my little potion over there.
No, actually, the quarterstaff.
What?
Its magical energies seem to be
I had no idea it was magical. It's such a droll-looking staff. It was it came with that haversack there from. I found it on a dead person, and.
Well, and surely it's of no use to you.
I mean, I've never tried anything with it. It looks so boring, but the sack was convenient for transporting a few things. But I thought I'd keep them together since I found them together. You know how pairs and sets of things go.
Absolutely.
Yes. So you want
See, Agatha here is quite skilled in the use of quarterstaffs and has been needing an upgrade for some time. And since it is her owlbear figure, I thought it would be fitting to trade for something for her.
What's the... She kind of looks at Agatha's staff and says, that seems very strong wood and made for purpose, but that staff over there, it looks old and decrepit and dusty. But if you insist it's magical, then I don't know. I have no use for it, although I haven't tried anything with it. But that little trinket there of yours is fanciful and wonderful. But only if you're willing to trade, Agatha, was it? If she truly wishes to trade, then she can approach me herself and offer and negotiate.
And we'll just kind of look to Agatha.
Yeah, she'll kind of look to I have to keep looking at it. Ashkerlith. And she'll say, unless you would be willing to part with it for free. She'll kind of pause.
I'm afraid that would be out of the question, especially now that I'm aware of its magical properties. It is drab and uncolourful, but it is still magical. I thought it was just
I
a
would be willing to
backpack.
trade the owlbear statue for it.
Are you sure it's magical? It seems unfair. Such a fanciful little trinket just for that dusty old bit of wood. Perhaps you can take the backpack as well. It seems only fair, as after all I require the key as well, yes. A key and a statue for a dusty staff and a backpack.
Yes.
Do you agree? Do not agree if you are not certain.
Well, if that's what you think it's worth, then I accept.
Do you? Then it is done, and the dragon kind of lunges towards you and outstretches its clawed hands to kind of shake upon it.
Huh. One day you're killing a dragon, the next you're shaking hands with them.
The difference between chromatic and metallic.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, do you grasp his clawed hands claw thing?
It's a he.
Yes.
Okay.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it says.
You know
But
what?
yeah.
Real quick. I want insight to make sure I'm not missing any like
Anything.
any fine print in his words or like subtext or anything. Because like
He's not gonna take
he's a
it.
little shifty right now.
Is he? Okay. Yeah, you kind of look into him and you can tell that he's eager to get this little trinket because he got a proper laugh out of it, and it is well made and it looks like very realistic with how it's made, with the colors and the painting and the craftsmanship. So yeah, they're very keen, and yeah, looking over to the staff, it looks like 100% mundane bit of wood that is probably looking a bit kind of sad and dusty. And then the sack, it looks worn and well used. Well, not a sack, like a backpack kind of thing. It looks very worn and used. But yeah, it doesn't seem to hold any any ill intent or untruths. So yeah, you kind of ponder this as you look upon its hand outstretched towards you, and their face is kind of just getting ever closer to yours until you're like face to face, and the giant's head is just like right up like inches away from you, and it's kind of like the eyes are like quivering in anticipation.
I guess before shaking, she'll kind of look to Salam, and she'll say, "You sure that exactly those are what you sensed the magical energies off of? There's nothing under there or anything like that?"
No, I think this is a fantastic trade.
It was the staff, the haversack, and the bottle on the table.
I suppose there is the potion on the table. If you want to throw that in
potion.
as well.
Oh, well, unless you have a say and a piece of claim to the little figurine, then.
Well, we did all get it together, and
yes,
I know I said it was Agatha's, but that was mostly just because she took it and was holding on to it until we decided who to sell it to. So I would say I have a stake in it.
Yes, you would. You seem the type to have a stake in things, but I believe I was under the impression that these negotiations were with Agatha here, and as you can see, we're on the cusp of the agreement.
I apologize. She asked my opinion. I was simply giving it.
Yes.
So,
Just a quick call over to Kenoran. Have you found anything yet over there?
Oh, I apologize. I was quite distracted.
Yeah, I ain't got nothing.
I mean, yeah, you could continue investigating with a new investigation check if you wish. Move on to a different part of the room.
Yeah.
You two continue. I just thought I'd make a quick interrupt.
alright. One more time for clarity. The figurine and its key for the staff, the bag, and the potion.
Okay. Yes, the figurine for the staff and the wait, what? The staff and the bag, I believe it was. Yes?
Wait, did we not agree on the potion? Was it...
No, I believe the agreement was the staff and the backpack. And Keenerin, you can roll with advantage since Chadwick is there helping you.
Okay. Yeah, I'll roll again.
And yeah, Azza, you're gonna get some clues. Yeah, one more. Okay. So yes, trinket and the key for the staff and the backpack. If you wish for the potion, well, that will be a new deal entirely. And don't forget my promise of a donation to your orphanage in return for fanciful arts and crafts.
Right. Must have misheard, I apologize.
No worries.
Trinket and the key for the staff and the bag.
Yes, that is what I was aiming for.
Shake on it.
Yes, the hand is like still there in front of you.
I shake on it.
Very good. And like the dragon just leaps up and like lets out a delightful roar, and like lightning kind of crackles out from it. Wonderful. Yeah, everyone.
There was no discussion of
Chadwick,
soul
Jeff
time, so-
definitely just like dives for cover, and he's like just lets out a massive yelp of fear, and he kind of just disappears into a shadow briefly. And then he kind of pops out after a moment. So yes, the dragon just now retreats back to the dais and starts like poring over the trinket. Yes, help yourself to the bag and the staff. And they gesture over to like the forgotten crevice. Okay, let me see now. Maybe. So yes.
Please don't bring the roof down on us.
Maybe there's some dust that falls from the top, but yes, the cave is still intact. Okay, so yeah, Agatha, you grab the backpack and the staff. You could do an Arcana check on the backpack to see if you recognize what it is.
I don't know how good it'll be, but I'll go ahead.
Well, you can have a go for yourself first.
9.
13. It seems to have a lot of pockets, and you're kind of like poring over it, and then you kind of open one of the pockets and kind of just grasp into the depths of it, and you find like your entire arm goes inside it and just keeps going. So
as I suspected.
Yeah, you don't know what it is, Agatha, but yeah, that's something. What's up with that? Yeah. So yeah, you put that onto your back, and you can add a handy haversack to your inventory. And yeah, you pick up the staff, and yeah, you'll need to attune to that before anything will happen. Let me just double check. Did I write for the attunement? Let's see. So yeah, you need to meditate with the staff for 8 hours.
And it takes an attunement slot.
Yes, it will.
I
The staff
am out of those.
the staff will definitely take an attunement slot.
I am out of those.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you grab those and you don them. Yeah. So let's go over to Azza.
Like I already have 3 items attuned.
Oh really? Well, you'll have to have a think.
Yeah, you have to get rid of something.
You'll definitely probably want the staff, I hope. Yeah. And for the haversack, is that an attunement slot?
No.
No, that's all right then. All right, let's see. Here we are. So, Azza, you start poring over that table there, and you find diagrams of some sort of structure that's very cylindrical and long and has very complicated inner workings. Maybe you can do an Arcana check on it to get a better understanding. Yeah, you have no idea. It seems to be.
Where's Kane when you need him?
It seems to be a device of some sort, but it's way above your level of Arcana. Let's see.
Wait, it's a magical device? Did I sense anything on it?
No, it's diagrams of a device.
Oh, diagrams, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So keener in, let me see. You don't find anything there with a 13, unfortunately.
Just keeps getting distracted by new pieces of work.
Yeah, Chadwick just carries on the conversation that you guys were on before.
I'll pull over. The wizard was working on something complicated over here, but I don't see how it relates to what we're after. If anyone wants to take a look, it's here on the table, but I'm gonna move on.
Ashkalith, do you have any idea where Zikrin went?
I did not see him leave, and I had no real interest in his whereabouts, so I haven't really looked into it myself. I believe he had a diary in here somewhere.
Shelves done.
Okay.
Turn around.
Curious that he wouldn't take his diary with him, but that will certainly be helpful.
He didn't leave here dead, did he?
No, I don't think so. As I said, I didn't see him leave, and there seemed to be no sign of struggle or combat.
He did leave a lot of equipment here.
Well, there was something here originally, and Ashgalith kind of gestures to the dais that they're kind of perched upon. And I do not know what it is, but it must have been large. But yes, perhaps some maps or a diary might give you some more ideas.
Would you mind if I check the dais for any sort of magical glyphs or any writing on it or anything like that?
I don't see why not. I just use it as a nest, really. But if you insist. And they'll get off and kind of just stands by the pile of currency.
Can I just kind of walk around it doing a perception check to see if I notice any like writing or any like scratch marks or indentations or anything like that that might hint at what was on there?
Well, you don't notice any writings or runes. You see kind of like maybe grooves and clips that indicate maybe something very large was like locked into this dais very firmly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I go over to the diagrams then that Azza shouted out about and see if the rough shape of the thing would match the indentations that I found?
Well, looking at them, they're both circular, but you'd need to do like an intelligence roll to kind of work out if they're the right size. Here he is.
As he's doing that, I'm gonna peruse. I'm gonna make an investigation on this bookshelf.
It doesn't have the diagram doesn't have like marks for like how big it is. It doesn't say like, like 11 feet by 5 feet or
I mean,
whatever.
it probably will do, yeah. So it'll probably be a very easy intelligence check. But hey, I struggle with numbers, so I'd probably fail if I did it myself.
Chadwick, can you come help me with this? I'm not very good with numbers.
He kind of just looks at you mid-conversation. He's like, what? Numbers? Ah, I thought we were talking about brushes and the ideal number of hairs for it. What's this? Numbers?
I'm trying to see if this diagram here, the thing that the diagram is of, matches the size of whatever was on the dais. Do you think you'd be able to figure that out?
It looks like it's the right size, but I have no idea what this is actually. Yeah.
Would he get advantage on that because I'm helping him?
You're pointing at the paper, basically. I guess that's helping, yeah. Yeah, look at this paper. It's got writing on it. Let's have a look.
Kieran wants to cast guidance on whoever's.
Wow, Chadwick.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's able to say whatever this is, whatever it does, it would match up with the size of that dais, but he doesn't know what it is or what it does. And I think is Swell Daddy logged in to
Yeah.
Foundry. I mean, on the